Healthy nations honor mothers. In 1865, the year the Civil War ended, a poem entitled "What Rules the World" appeared. You may recognize the poem's most famous line: "For the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world." Shaped by his angel mother and encouraged by his stepmother, Lincoln lived the American dream. This phrase, the American dream, first appeared in 1931 in the depths of the Depression. A century earlier, in 1832, Lincoln's friends urged him to run for office. He was only 23. And this is what he said: "Every man is said to have his peculiar ambition. Whether it be true or not, I can say for one that I have no other so great as that of being truly esteemed by my fellow men, by rendering myself worthy of their esteem. How far I shall succeed in gratifying this ambition is yet to be developed." 3 decades later, he traveled to the White House. Along the way, he stopped in Philadelphia, and this is what he said: "I have never had a feeling politically that did not spring from the sentiments embodied in the Declaration of Independence." For Lincoln, 2 words stood out: created equal. During the preceding decade, he emphasized these words in nearly all of his speeches. He had stepped away from politics, but the passage of the Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854 prompted him to return. This legislation permitted the expansion of slavery. Each new state would determine whether to permit slavery by a simple majority vote. Lincoln recognized this as a grave threat to the Union. Slavery predated the Declaration of Independence by more than 150 years. America inherited this pernicious practice. To placate the southern states, a compromise occurred at the Constitutional Convention. Article 1 authorized Congress to ban the slave trade in 20 years, and Congress did so at the earliest opportunity, January 1, 1808. Lincoln was born the following year. The parallel between Lincoln's time and ours is clear. Mark Twain once quipped, "History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme." Historian Louis Lehrman wisely put it this way: "The great moral issue in America has always been the struggle to uphold the Declaration of Independence, and in our time, to restore the primacy of the inalienable right to life of the child in the womb." Inalienable rights are not subject to majority vote, and yet today, as in Lincoln's time, states are doing just that. A house divided cannot stand. Following the Civil War, America added the 14th Amendment to ensure that never again would we fail to uphold the inalienable rights of all. People are not property, no matter how small. How would Lincoln speak on behalf of life in our time? He would speak the truth with charity and clarity. He would strive to persuade through stories. This is what Pro-Life Partners Foundation aspires to do in collaboration with every person of good faith all across America. We have produced 11 brief ads, little stories, that we invite you to share. These ads follow best practices. They come through as a result of extensive consultation, and they're anchored in research. Together with the more than 3,000 pregnancy help centers and pro-life organizations, such as Life Legal, we offer these resources to be launched nationwide near Mother's Day. I'd like to share them with you now. and suggest how Lincoln might introduce these. And perhaps if there's time at the end, you can provide some feedback. You're the first audience to see this collection. In Cleveland a few weeks ago, they saw part of it. You're seeing 10 of the 11. Lincoln would begin with equal protection.
America began as an idea, a set of principles, a people united by certain truths. We are endowed by our Creator with inalienable rights. We are created equal. We bear the image of God, and so we merit equal protection from the moment we exist through all stages of life. That's who we are. That's fairness. That's justice. That's America. We haven't always lived up to these principles, but because of them, we have a path forward. A century and a half ago, we added the 14th Amendment to ensure that never again would we fail to provide equal protection for all. Through the leadership of Harriet Beecher Stowe, Frederick Douglass, Abraham Lincoln, Booker T. Washington, John Bingham, Martin Luther King Jr., Mildred Jefferson, and many others, justice prevailed. But what about equal protection for those who can't speak for themselves? The littlest among us, the least among us. They too are entitled to equal protection. That's fairness. That's justice. Standing with mother and child, that's the 14th Amendment. That's equal protection for all.
These ads are designed to be discussion starters. So if you're boxed into a corner, you can direct someone to an ad and begin a conversation. We hope in particular that it will be helpful to those states that are facing these ballot proposals that Alexander was talking about earlier. Unfortunately, in Ohio, the other side got out of the gate a lot faster with their messaging. Lincoln would also proceed with compassion.
Here's the truth. Abortion hurts. She didn't anticipate the situation, but now she must make a difficult choice. She can choose abortion, which might feel like a solution in the short term, but it leads to an aching sense of loss, depression, and a risk of infertility. Because abortion hurts women. But she also has another choice. She can choose to be a mother. Being a mother doesn't hurt. In fact, it can heal. And being a mother is more beautiful than anything you can imagine. Of course, it's not an easy road, but there are people who will walk with you, help you with childcare, healthcare, education, job training, even housing. You don't need abortion to succeed. You need support. We will connect you with the support you need. Go to standingwithyou.org. We will support you.
Some project that as high as 70% of abortions will now take place as a result of chemical abortion. This one is in Ohio. There was an article that Planned Parenthood put out stating that late-term abortions are not real, that they don't happen. And so this one is designed to set the record straight, as Lincoln would do.
According to Planned Parenthood, there is no such thing as a late-term abortion. Really? 7 states and Washington, D.C. permit late-term abortions. The CDC tracks late-term abortions. More than 10,000 late-term abortions took place last year, and some centers specialize in late-term abortions. But let's bypass the spin and call an abortion facility.
Hello, good morning.
I'm around 30 weeks pregnant. Do y'all offer abortion at 30 weeks?
Yes, we do offer abortions at that gestational age.
Is the procedure safe and everything? Like, do y'all do these a lot? I'm just a little nervous about it.
Yeah, it's totally understandable. Yes, we do them a lot. We have been a third trimester abortion clinic
Oh, okay. You specialize in later term abortions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
So is the baby like going to be really big at this point, or is it fully developed or anything yet?
So, yes, it would be in the third trimester.
It doesn't have like a fully formed heart or head or anything yet, right?
At 32, it does.
Okay. And y'all are still able to do the abortion with the baby being that developed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The truth, late-term abortion is real.
This is the one I started to introduce. It's entitled Little Pills That Kill.
Abortion pills have been legal since 2000 and now make up for more than half of all abortions because they're being sold as the more comfortable solution. But abortion pills actually come with many complications and side effects, like severe pain, heavy and prolonged bleeding, fever, infection, and cramping. But these are just the complications that pro-abortion organizations mention. What they don't mention is that abortion pills can lead to blood clotting, described by one patient as the size of a lemon, incomplete abortions, which require a follow-up surgical abortion, pain, sometimes described as worse than childbirth, mental distress, and a fear of dying, and in some cases, the abortion pill has led to death of the mother. This isn't hyperbole. So far, 24 women have lost their lives from complications with abortion pills. And get this, nearly half of all women who take the abortion pill seek medical attention after. That doesn't sound very comfortable or safe, does it? In spite of these complications, abortion vendors have fought to remove safety regulations and to disregard the research that says women have been hurt by abortion pills. But the truth is this: these little pills kill.
When I worked at Planned Parenthood as an RHA, we were told to mislead the women that came in looking for abortion pills. We were instructed to tell them the abortion pills were going to be easy, and we knew they weren't. Still, I was told to go to the grocery store and buy a lemon to show the women how big the clots would get. These women were experiencing intense pain, and they were afraid for their lives.
Lincoln would also follow the research, and the research indicates that men who are involved in this epidemic that we're having, 85% approximately of abortions occur to women who are not married. The research indicates that men want to step up and be heroes, but they are struggling to do so. So this one is meant to speak to them.
When I was little, I would pretend to be a hero. My toy box was full of capes, fire trucks, and army gear. But now life is complex. But what makes a hero remains constant. A hero defies the odds, stands strong, does what's right, even when it's not easy, particularly when it's not easy. But when faced with an unplanned pregnancy, men are told we don't have a voice. But that doesn't feel right. Shouldn't we be there, help her, protect her? One day our sons and daughters will ask, "What did you do?" And we want them to know that we stepped up. We supported their mother. We became fathers. And fathers can be heroes when they do what's right, even when it's not easy.
This next ad speaks to women in a particular way and authentic feminism in the sense of authentic rights.
Women have a history of rising above. When they blocked our right to vote, we marched. When they paid us less, we secured equal pay. When they devalued us, We built a movement. Now they tell us we need abortion to succeed, that abortion is part of our empowerment. But there's no victory in ending the lives of our own children. There's no empowerment. There's only harm and loss. Abortion hurts. It leaves us with a giant hole in who we are. When someone tells us we are not up for the challenge of being a mother, let's remind them who we are, what we have overcome, how we have risen above. We don't need abortion to succeed.
Lincoln would have encouraged good fathers. He didn't have a good father, but he found a way to be a very good father himself.
So often, we are flooded with images of the angry father, or the foolish father, or the disconnected father. We are called to be more. A father is safe. A father is confident and consistent. A father is a huge hug that lets you know everything will be okay. A father is sure footing in a difficult world. And for some of us, this isn't our experience, but we can break free from the sins of our fathers. John Mize, the CEO of Americans United for Life, did just that.
My mom was pregnant with me. I was the youngest of three boys, and my biological father cheated on my mom and left her. Uneducated, unemployed, and she very much so leaned into her faith, leaned into her desire to have me. I think because of that, my entire life, I've sought to help those that are the most vulnerable. I have had a chip on my shoulder my entire life that I would not repeat the mistakes that my biological father made. I also had the privilege of not formally being adopted. My mom remarried when I was 10, and Herm was a high school history teacher, a golf coach, and a basketball coach. He died when I was 14, which was a travesty. However, his legacy lives on in me. I've taken his last name officially when I turned 15, and I would love to honor him. For, while it was only 4 years, it was 4 very pivotal years in my development. And so there's two components to that. The chip on my shoulder that I'll never repeat how my biological father acted, and then honoring the man who I took his name and have identified him as my father my entire life.
Lincoln would have tremendous compassion for women who have experienced the horror of the crime of rape. That's a topic which is unthinkable, and unfortunately, the other side exploits that. This is a true story, and this is one way of starting the conversation.
Liam was born 11 years ago, and like all children, his story intertwines with his mother's. Liam's mother, Rebecca, was raped and became pregnant at 18. The man who assaulted her was more than twice her age, and she was homeless. She couldn't provide for a child, and she was the victim of a violent crime. But circumstances, even horrible circumstances, do not define us. Rebecca leaned into hope. She persisted with courage, and she gave birth to Liam. A family adopted Liam, and the adoptive father says, Rebecca and Liam have taught us way more than we could ever teach them. The message, compassion. This story is complicated. It's personal. It's gut-wrenching. It's also inspiring. A story of hope. Rebecca and Liam's lives are intertwined. We cannot diminish Rebecca's trauma, but we also cannot dehumanize Liam. Both need our help. Both deserve our help. We must be compassionate to both. Support both, embrace both, welcome both, love both.
There are people who have survived abortions. This, too, is a true story.
In August 1977, a 19-year-old college student, Ruth, wasn't feeling herself. Ruth's mother, an OB/GYN nurse, recognized the symptoms. Ruth was pregnant. Ruth was engaged to Elliot, her high school boyfriend, but their engagement couldn't save the baby. Ruth's mother was livid. They pleaded with her, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter that they wanted the baby, and it didn't matter that they would soon be married. Ruth's mother demanded an abortion. This was the last time Ruth ever saw Elliot. Ruth was taken to the hospital where her mother worked, and where a doctor owed her a favor. Without proper consideration and without Ruth's consent, the doctor performed the same abortion. Ruth and her preborn baby suffered. The same solution burned the baby's body. After 5 days, Ruth was finally induced. Everyone expected a dead baby, but I was born instead. My name is Solitone, and I am the founder and CEO of the Abortion Survivors Network. Most people do not realize that abortions fail, are stopped before birth, and survivors like me exist. There are an estimated 85,870 abortion survivors since 1973, which means there are roughly 1,734 survivors every year. The trauma of abortion survival is real. You feel isolated, disregarded, and different in a way that no one else can understand. We are the abortion know. I am not a themselves. I am a human being. All of us are human beings. All of us have equal value. Abortion is not healthcare. Abortion is not reproductive choice. Abortion is the intentional killing of a human being. We are survivors. We pull back the curtain. We personify the violence. We are literally the voice of the voiceless. And for survivors, we're here for you. We exist for you. We will help you. We are the Abortion Survivors Network.
Abraham Lincoln was instrumental in the passage of the 13th Amendment. Steven Spielberg has a wonderful movie entitled Lincoln that tells that story. Unfortunately, he was assassinated before the 14th Amendment was possible, but this was the natural next step, and he certainly would have advocated for the 14th Amendment.
Lincoln had been retired from politics for 5 years. What caused him to return? Legislation passed by Congress permitting the expansion of slavery into new states by simple majority vote. Lincoln saw through the smokescreen. This ignored inalienable rights. This eviscerated the Declaration of Independence. Beginning with his speech at Peoria in 1854, he would spend the next 11 years bringing attention to created equal. If those being denied liberty are property, as ruled by the Supreme Court in Dred Scott, then no cause for concern. But if human beings, then they are denied their inherent, inalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It would require the best of Lincoln's gifts of persuasion, reason, and articulation to bring his fellow citizens to see the truth of the matter. In the end, the war came, and Reconstruction followed, necessitating the 14th Amendment. The amendment's author, John Bingham, penned sweeping language. He sought a simple, strong, plain declaration guaranteeing equal protection, no matter how weak, how simple, no matter how friendless. From the moment we exist, we are endowed by our Creator. We are created equal. We have inalienable rights. And we are guaranteed equal protection, no matter how weak, how simple, no matter how small. That's the 14th Amendment.
Louis Lehrman noted, "It must be explained to the American people that the same Congresses that prohibited slavery explicitly incorporated into federal law criminal codes restricting abortion." While visiting America 200 years after the Constitutional Convention, Pope John Paul II said, "The dignity of America, the reason she exists, the condition of her survival, yes, the ultimate test of her greatness, to respect every human person, especially the weak and most defenseless ones, those as yet unborn." 2 years from now, America will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. As Lincoln noted, the way is plain, peaceful, generous, just, a way which, if followed, the world will forever applaud, and God must forever bless. Every life counts. Everyone deserves a chance. That's the American dream. The blessings of liberty to us and our posterity. The preborn are our posterity. Abraham Lincoln would have been an awesome pro-life lawyer. He knew sorrow, but he also knew hope. And he lived by faith, hope, and love. And so did his grandmother. You see, Lincoln almost never existed. His grandmother experienced an unexpected pregnancy. She was an unwed mother. She was frightened. But she courageously proceeded, and God abundantly blessed her. She gave birth to a beautiful baby girl and named her Nancy. Nancy grew to be a strong, virtuous, caring mother. She gave birth to a beautiful baby boy and named him Abraham Lincoln. Abortion impacts generations, nation. It's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. May Lincoln's honesty, integrity, compassion, and courage inspire us all to protect all. Thank you for supporting Life Legal. Thank you for supporting life. May God bless you, and may God bless America.